This is for the HFW Global title.
FBW fans, welcome to FBW BattleYard 2021, and we are kicking things off at this no-ring event on a personal level. We are going to be kicking things off at this event with the last one standing match between the Messiah of the Yard, Anthony Aries, and the First Lady of FBW, the Fallen Rose, Ruby. Now this is the last one standing match, so the rules are you have to knock out your opponent where he cannot answer the referee's count of 10. And there comes Ruby. She came out from behind and she's already attacking Anthony Aries. She doesn't want to wait for this match to get started. She wants this match to start now, and it is. And Ruby's taking it to Anthony Aries. She did not wait to come out. She came out and attacked Anthony Aries from behind, just like Anthony Aries did to her back in December of 2021. Now this is Ruby's first match since November of 2020, where she defeated Chris Dynamite in seconds in her last one standing match. But now she is back and she is facing the Messiah of the Yard, Anthony Aries. Now the last time these two faced, it was in a draw in a champion versus champion match back at Fight Night 2020, where Anthony Aries and Ruby were defending the King of the Yard title and the Undisputed title against each other. But let's talk about how this feud and this match has came to be. Now, back in 2020, Anthony Aries felt like he should have been the Undisputed champion. But when Ruby came back after giving birth to their first kid, Anthony Aries felt like his position in the company was shifted downwards, and he blames all of that on Ruby. So in December of 2020, Anthony Aries took out Ruby, making her being stripped of the Undisputed title and having her miss over a year of her career. But now Ruby is back. Anthony thought that he got rid of her for good, but she is back. And now Anthony Aries has to finish what he started back in December of 2020. There is no love or likeness between each other now. But it's kind of hard to believe that may not actually be the case, even though it seems like that, because earlier today Ruby was talking to interviewers and she was telling the interviewers how she still loves Anthony Aries, and she just thinks that his mind is just somewhere else, and she just needs to beat some sense into Anthony Aries. So we'll see if she can beat some sense into the Messiah of the Yard. And after this match, I guess we will see how Anthony Aries, feels towards Ruby's and acts towards Ruby. But right now Ruby is taking it to Anthony Aries with that steel pipe, it seems. And Anthony Aries grabbing her. What is this? Picking her up, and a backbreaker, and picking her up again, and another backbreaker, and throwing her on the ground. Now obviously they know each other very well. They have been dating for almost 5 years, and so far no comment has been made on their relation status. But they do have a family together.
6.
Anthony Aries, he says that he wants to get rid of Ruby because she is not, she's not what's good for business and stuff. So who knows? This is personal. This is business. All we know is Anthony Aries does not want Ruby in FBW. Now this is a last one standing match, so the only way to win is by knocking out your opponent and making it where they cannot answer the referee's count of 10. Now this is definitely a new side of Anthony Aries that we've never seen and Ruby has never seen. And Ruby just throwing dirt in the face of Anthony Aries and pushing him and choking him against that ladder. Anthony Aries doesn't know where he is, and a clothesline just pushing him, colliding him, just ramming right into him. And Ruby just picking him up. And she throws him into the chain-linked fence. Anthony throws a crutch at Anthony Aries. Ruby feels, like I said earlier, that she needs to beat some sense into Anthony Aries.
4, 5.
And she's doing just that.
7.
Already at a 7 count.
8.
Ruby is one tough chick. Even though Anthony Aries is bigger than her, you cannot underestimate what Ruby can do. We have seen in the past that Ruby is capable of having very dominant performances, like at Endgames 2020. She defeated Chris Dynamite in a last one standing match in literally seconds. Defeated Chris Dynamite in record time. So we cannot underestimate Ruby because of her size. She is one tough chick. And Anthony Aries delivering knee strikes, taking Ruby down.
One.
Look at those knee strikes.
Two.
Trapping and holding her arms so she cannot defend and block those knee strikes. Just taking the knee right to the face. And now Anthony Aries choking her with that metal pipe. Good strategy. You either go after the legs and make it where they can't stand, or you just choke them out where they're unconscious and can't answer.
One. Two.
Anthony Aries grabbing that ladder, but Ruby back up, hitting Anthony Aries. What's happening here? Anthony Aries, he's climbing the ladder. He is still managing to climb the ladder, and Ruby rams that crutch right into the lower section. And now Ruby pulling Anthony Aries off that ladder, and she drops the ladder right into Anthony Aries. Anthony Aries, he's covered in that ladder, and Ruby just stomping on the ladder, burying Anthony Aries under that ladder. Ruby on top of Anthony Aries, stepping on the arms. What is Ruby trying to do here? She's trying to choke him out with the ladder. Anthony Aries not letting her. Ruby cannot get frustrated. She does not want to make any mistakes. I don't think Ruby would really appreciate a loss to Anthony Aries. And now Ruby trying to choke out Anthony Aries.
One. Two. Three.
When we look at the past in matches that they've had, Ruby has more wins over Anthony Aries. I don't know what it is, but Ruby seems to put down Anthony Aries most of the time. So we'll see really who wins this match, but Anthony Aries almost just lost it, and Ruby just threw the chair at Anthony Aries. But we just saw a 9 count in this match. One more second and Anthony Aries would have lost to Ruby. But what is Ruby doing? Climbing on top of that well. But Anthony Aries right back on the attack, slowing her down. But what is this? He has her up, picking her up again off the well. And a backbreaker again. Another backbreaker.
One.
And now Ruby is down.
Three.
Anthony Aries,
Four.
he has that cross that he came out with.
Five.
And it seems that there's sand spurs. There's sand spurs on top of that cross. He's trying to hit his own fiance, and he misses. And Ruby striking him with that steel pipe. And now Ruby has that cross, but she throws it. Ruby, I don't know if Ruby had the heart to hit Anthony Aries with that sand spur cross, but she just kicked him right in the face. And Anthony Aries, he's down.
4. 5.
At a 5 count halfway there.
7. 8. 9.
And another 9 count. That was almost a 10. What is Anthony Aries going for here? Is he going for the knockout for the greater good? And he hits. No, he didn't get it all. He did not get all of that knockout for the greater good. And whipping Ruby into the shed wall. But Anthony Aries just came close to losing with two 9 counts and a forearm taking down Ruby. Ruby trying to throw and get Anthony Aries away from her so she has time to recover. And now Anthony Aries has Ruby in an arm bar. He has her in an arm bar, in an arm lock, stomping on the ankle. What is this? Anthony Aries now with an ankle lock. Anthony Aries has an ankle lock locked in. If Anthony Aries can break the ankle of Ruby, Ruby will definitely not be getting up in this match. But Ruby with a low blow.
1.
Now Ruby does have a history of
3.
Ankle injury. She broke her ankle years ago in a non-wrestling accident. It's been years, but that ankle still can affect her. But Ruby DDTs Anthony Aries into the chair. You have to think with a surgically repaired ankle that Ruby has from years ago, could it still be easy to break that ankle if Anthony Aries went after that ankle? We'll see. But what is this? Ruby has his arm trapped in the chair, and she's putting all of her weight onto that arm. She's trying to break the arm of Anthony Aries, and she's just punching Anthony Aries.
1, 2.
Ruby really does want to beat some sense into Anthony Aries.
4.
We'll see
5.
if the ways of Anthony Aries changes after this.
6. 7. 8.
And an almost 9 count. Anthony Aries, he's coming close to getting up, barely before 10. And another clothesline. And missing that blackout stomp. And a boot right to the side of Ruby's head. And slamming her head first into the cover of the well. And Anthony Aries is climbing up there, looking to go high risk. But Ruby, she's grabbing a crutch. Anthony Aries making a smart move by trying to get down. And now they're fighting over control of the crutch. And Anthony Aries hits Ruby. You kind of have to think that was a good move by Anthony Aries by getting off of the well and not going for the high risk maneuver. Because if Anthony would have tweaked his ankle by jumping off of that well, Anthony Aries could have costed himself the whole match. But now Anthony Aries, he's hitting Ruby right in the head, trying to knock out Ruby.
2.
Just stomping on Ruby. To think that, as far as we know, they are in a relationship with a family.
2.
Anthony Aries now praying. What is Anthony Aries doing?
5.
Just sitting there praying
6.
as Ruby lays there hurt.
7. 8.
They're at an 8 count. And a kick and a DDT to Anthony Aries.
1.
Ruby does find those bursts of energy.
2.
Anthony Aries catching her foot. And now what is this? A guillotine. A guillotine locked in on Anthony Aries. Rotating now into a sleeper hold. Ruby trying to put Anthony Aries to sleep. Trying to make Anthony Aries pass out. What is this? Anthony Aries. He stood up. Slamming her into the shed. Anthony Aries is getting choked out and carrying all the weight of Ruby. And Ruby gets off after being slammed into the shed wall 3 times. What is this? Anthony Aries going for the knockout for the greater good again. Can he hit it? And he hits it. And Ruby goes down. This could be it.
2.
We saw that move defeat Dante Kruger over at Hellfire Wrestling.
5.
But Ruby is up.
6.
I don't think Anthony Aries got the full of
7.
that move. I mean, they've been going at it. They're both tired. And another clothesline. You have to think how tired these two are, because they are not staying down, recovering. They have to get up pretty quick. And Ruby just dragged Anthony Aries across that chain-linked fence. What is Ruby setting up for here? Buckling the knee of Anthony Aries. And a blackout stomp. A blackout stomp to the back of the head of Anthony Aries. And Ruby just collapsed from exhaustion.
2.
But look at Anthony Aries. He is out.
3.
If Ruby can recover quick and get up, she could have this match won. It doesn't look like Anthony Aries is going to be getting up. Anthony Aries, he seems out cold. He hasn't moved.
8. 9.
You're at a 9 count. Referee stopped the count. Both competitors, they are moving. They're conscious. What is this? Both grappling for control. And just punches back and forth. They have been going to war this whole match. We've seen close calls, but they're still going at it here at FBW BattleYard. Now remember, the next event is the Glory Rumble, but is either of these wrestlers going to make it to the Glory Rumble later this month? They're both up, grappling for control. Grappling for control. Who's going to get the upper hand, Ruby or Anthony Aries? What is this? Anthony Aries, knockout for the greater good, and he got all of that one. Ruby is down, but Anthony Aries, he fell from exhaustion.
3, 4,
the referee is counting.
5.
Anthony Aries needs to get
6,
up, and he will win this match.
7,
and he's getting up, but Anthony
8,
Aries, he falls
9,
back down.
10.
And this match has ended in a draw. These two wrestlers have went to war.